Alright guys, welcome back. More Ratchet and Clank up your arsenal. We just finished the boss fight on the Tyrannoid Island, or planet, I don't remember what it's called. Anyways, we got some battle missions to do, so we're gonna knock those out. We was talking about random video games and stuff in the last episode, stuff we didn't like about them, and it just reminded me of this game that used to be on a demo disc when I was a kid, and we've probably talked about this before. I think it was called Tiny Tank.
Oh my god.
Do you remember that?
Look it up.
You were like a little trash talking tank with like an attitude, and it was funny as hell. Like, it's kind of scary, to be honest with you. It was a little creepy.
That's the first thing that popped up. Tiny Tank PS1.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me see a picture. Yeah, it was kind of he was kind of creepy looking, but
I never played.
But dude, he talks trash. It was funny as hell.
But I remember it for some reason.
It was on one of those PS demo discs that you would get from like Pizza Hut or something.
Pizza Hut demo disc, I love them. But they gave you shitty levels on them.
Oh yeah, I still can't believe they one of those discs, the only Crash Bandicoot warp level they put on it was the water level.
And the only Tomb Raider 3 level they put on it was the one where you don't have any weapons and you have to break out of the prison cell.
Oh god, that was the third game?
That was such a terrible level to put on there.
That one looked so bad, I just assumed it was the first Tomb Raider game that ever came out.
It was the third one.
I'm not even lying.
It was the third one.
Oh man.
The first one was way worse. No, I don't know, Tomb Raider. Ugh. Like,
I remember that level though. Because like, couldn't you get caught like right at the beginning if you didn't?
Yeah, if you got out. But what you had to do was like somehow sneak around. Somehow.
I never could figure that out. I was too stupid.
And basically, what you did, you had to let out a prisoner, and he beat the guard to death. And you got his. That's how you got a gun.
I never figured it out, dude. I never got that far.
Well, the only reason I know it is because my dad used to play these games with me. He used to play Crash Bandicoot and Tomb Raider and all those games when I had my PlayStation 1. Fond memories of my dad when I was younger. He played video games like crazy. With me, anyways.
Oh my god, that's fucking me up.
Like, for the hell of it, I'll never forget, I went through and watched a playthrough of someone do Tomb Raider 2 and Tomb Raider 3, I think. Holy shit! Like, you know, we always talk about, oh, you know, when you were a kid, there's no way you could have done this. Like, there's no way. I mean, the puzzles are crazy. The stuff you would have had to figure out. But I remember him doing it because he beat all three of them. The first three on the PlayStation, anyways, he beat. I remember watching it. And I remember the credits rolling.
It's Tempest.
Holy shit, though, the health draining quick.
Yeah, I'm getting fucked up.
There's a health cube up there, by the way.
That guy.
And there's one down there.
Oh my god, look at that attack, though. So it did turn into Tempest. That's, oh my god.
This is the Hydra Splitter Hydra or whatever? God bless!
I'm gonna die, though.
There's health. No. Yeah, there's a health cartridge here, and there's one actually to the right of you up on the cliff.
This is Tempest. Oh yeah, I forgot. I think I unlocked that later for the next mission.
Over there.
But yeah, God, those demo discs seriously were like the best marketing idea that Sony could have ever had.
It was unreal because my cousins were subscribed to the PlayStation magazine. Well, there was one every month in that, and I remember sometimes they had a little gameplay on them, and some of them were just video. A lot of the sports games were just video. But I would have never in a million years heard of the game Combat if they'd had it been for a demo. The first level was on a demo.
Oh, there's no point for me. Sorry, but there's no point in me using this weapon anymore.
Oh, the Hydra.
It's not gonna level up anymore.
Yeah, so. It's done. But I would have never heard of that, and it's my number 2 favorite game of all time. So I mean,
I remember there being a demo disc that had an NFL game on it, but you could only play as like 2 teams. And it was the Baltimore Ravens and the New York Giants.
That's hilarious. You say that.
That was the only 2 teams that you could play as.
Speaking of like only being able to play as 2, like Tekken 3 was a demo.
Oh god, I don't like this.
And before I actually had the game, Tekken, I had the demo, obviously, and I think the only 2 people you could play as were King and Xiao Yu, which was a new character. Which is probably why I got so fucking good with King. Because he was the only character you could play.
Yeah. What was that? There was a WWE game
It was Warzone.
Where you could only, yeah, it was Warzone. You could only play as Stone Cold or Gold Dust, and no one ever wanted to play as
Gold Dust if Stone Cold's the other option, unless you literally just got bored of shit and wanted to play as Gold Dust.
I remember that.
It definitely happened.
Oh man, that was hilarious. Oh
but that was a hell of a marketing tool. Like, hey, this is.
Yeah, they made way more money back.
Well, speaking, Medieval, I would have never heard of the Medieval series.
Yeah, Medieval was on and that was a timed demo too, wasn't it? You could only play for like so long.
I think the Tomba one was a timed demo. Now that you mention that, I think it was a timed demo unless you got to a certain point and it cut you off. I think once you threw the fog, the tornado with the fog at the very beginning, I think it cut you off.
God, that's so fucking nostalgic.
But speaking of the first Spider-Man on PlayStation 1, the only level that was on there was the Scorpion level. And I don't even think it was a Scorpion boss fight, it was only flying to the Daily Bugle.
Getting to the Daily Bugle before Scorpion killed.
It's kind of odd, really. Which, I mean, not really, because it teaches you how to be quick, and there's also, like, enemies you can fight in between, so, I mean, it kind of teaches you a little bit of everything you need to know. Which is kind of what they were going for, I guess, and most of them, like... But that's not a level I would probably put in there. Once again, that's like a race to the Daily Bugle, I think was the name of that particular portion.
I want to say there was a skateboarding. Okay, no, there was a snowboarding game. It was on one of them.
Cool Borders.
It was called Cool Borders, yeah, and there was one level. Of course, every level, that's basically, so you got the full experience out of that. That game was fun. It made me want to get the game, let's put it that way.
I think, it's funny you mentioned that. I'm pretty sure Tony Hawk's Pro Skater had a level on one of the games, and I think that's why I ended up with Tony Hawk's Pro Skater too.
I actually was,
love those games.
I was listening to an interview on the Dan Levitard show about that, and he was asking him about, the games. Apparently, I think it was Activision,
Activision's the one that published it or whatever.
They, what was the producer that had like the eyeball? Neversoft. Yeah, but
because they did the first Spider-Man game.
Yeah, that's right. He mentioned that Activision at the time after the first game wanted to pay him I think it was $100,000 for all future revenue rights to the games, and he somehow did not accept that. It ended up making so much more money.
Or I'm gonna piggyback off your story then, because there was a video on YouTube. I clicked on it, and I can't remember the particular. It was like a video podcast or whatever. The particular channel had skateboarders and people in that particular area of sports or whatever. Tony Hawk was on there though, and it was like, how much did Tony Hawk make off the video game? And he didn't go into full specifics, obviously, but I think he said it was around the time the fourth game had come out, and a couple of the other games had been put on the greatest hits or whatever.
Yeah.
And he explained how that worked, which is basically you sell them at a cheaper price at higher volume, which is what it was. I think greatest hits were normally around $20. They still are. And he said that one of the people at Activision wanted to have lunch with him, and he slid him a check for $4 million.
Oh my God.
And they kind of joked around. He said, I can't downplay that. He said that was life changing. He said that changed his life. I mean, you think about that, a video game.
Dude, yeah, they did such a good job.
Oh, it was. The engine was so good, and it's a shame that the fifth game was so bad, because I remember being so excited for it. I'm like, holy shit! They actually, dropped the American Wasteland, dropped the Underground, dropped the Project whatever, and it just went straight to 5. And I'm like, okay, this is gonna be so cool, and it sucked so bad. So I'm looking really forward to the remasters that's coming out.
I don't remember the last one I played, but it was good. I think it was the last Underground game.
The Underground was good. Both Undergrounds were good, and then American Wasteland was really good.
I can't remember. I just can't remember which one it was. I want to say it was. I want to say that it was on the Xbox. They were on the Xbox, weren't they?
Yeah, they were. American Wasteland, you were basically just doing weird tricks and getting parts for a crazy skate park you were building. And I liked it. A lot of people said, man, I was a fan of the quirky, weird storylines. Which is why, a lot
Okay, wait. Before I forget, I think the one that I was playing you start off getting like kidnapped in a van. By
Oh yeah,
them.
that's Underground 2 then.
That it was
I'm
that
pretty sure
one.
Bam Margera is the one that kidnaps you.
Yeah, it is. Okay, so that's the one that I had that I played the most of and loved. Is that the one where you would like, you know, get like the SKATE like symbols on all the maps, like skate and all that?
You can do that in all of them. That's
all of
yeah,
them?
that's in all of them.
And there was one skater that I really always loved. Can't remember his name, but he was like one of
Looking
the.
up the roster then.
He was one of the really cool like trickster dudes. It was like, you know, man, if you tell me his name, I guarantee you I'll know it on the spot. I always played as him though.
Roster. How do I want the roster?
Please tell me I'm done. Please tell me. Oh my God. What was his name? I'll know it if you read it off to me. I guarantee you I'll know. Because you got to pick from them, you know. I promise I'll know if you tell me.
Hell. You would think it would be.
So I always played as him. Or maybe it wasn't Underground 2. Maybe it was the one before that, like one of the early ones I played. Like Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, or one of the Pro Skaters. That's gonna bug the shit out of me if I don't know that guy's
the cover
name.
of it?
That was the one I had on the Xbox, but I know I had another one.
This is the one I'm looking up the roster to.
There's no point using that. I already said. Refractor. I'll just use a storm, I guess. It's gonna be hard to use the Nitro Storm though, because it doesn't fucking.
Run me around! Okay, the characters on Bam Margera.
Benjamin Franklin.
Oh, wow. Bob Burnquist.
No.
Chad Muska.
Chad Muska.
That was him?
It was Chad Muska, I'm pretty damn sure.
That's funny. Eric Costin, Eric Sparrow, Nick Kang, hell, he's cool. True Crime Gang. Polly Will the Fury Ryan, even the most. Rodney Mullen. I love Rodney.
No, it was Rodney Mullen.
Let
me see him.
I was going to say Rodney Mullen.
It was Rodney Mullen. That's
like,
who it was.
I almost said him earlier just because when you said he's like one of the crazy trickster guys.
It
like
was Rodney Mullen.
God.
I wish I could see a picture of him in the game, just because that I guarantee. Yeah, pull up a picture of him like in the game. That's who it was. I loved playing as Rodney Mullen.
Rodney Mullen is like one of the most humble, down to earth people I've ever seen in an interview ever. Like, I don't know. They had to like legit make him bad, make his stats bad in the game because he was so good.
Really?
He's like one of the godfathers of modern skating, street skating. Like Tony Hawk, like kind of perfected the craft on like a vert ramp, and he was like the guy doing the crazy street moves. But he wouldn't take a fucking he wouldn't take any credit for naming any move or coming up with it or anything. Like there's this crazy move called the Impossible. It was funny listening to him talk about it. And this girl, it was this cool channel on YouTube called like Physics Girl, and they were talking about physics of skateboarding. He was on there, and she's like, and she was talking to him about the Impossible, and he said, yeah, he said I created that, and she's like, oh wait, you created it? And he's like, yeah, he said, I didn't name it. He said, but I did create it. That was pretty cool.
Rodney Mullen.
That's hilarious.
I remember looking. I just remember for some reason looking through the character list, and whenever I got to him, I was just like, I like the way he looks. I want to play as that guy, and it just stuck from then on. It was always Rodney Mullen. That son of a bitch.
Is that him?
Yeah, but I think I'm pretty sure I remember him like from an earlier game. Was he in?
Oh yeah, he
was
in all the earlier games.
Yeah, it would have been
like that one right there, maybe.
Yeah.
That was Tony Hawk Pro
Oh,
Skater.
go back to that now. Go back to that other one.
That was
that one. I remember that damn screen.
That's Pro Skater 3.
Oh my god, I remember that screen.
Yep, that's Pro Skater 3. That's hilarious.
Oh. These turrets will jack you up, bro. Am I too far away to hit him? I am. That's a bitch. Did it? I'm gonna die. Yeah. I shot it 3 times though, just to put it in perspective. Oh god, I took damage from that. Come on, bro. Let's just try this. We've got Tempest. Let's just use it for what it's worth. There we go, Tempest.
I love the Tony Hawk Pro Skater series. Although I'm gonna be honest, it's not that I was ever really good at them. I got decent at American Wasteland, but like most of the time I just like free skating. Or just
I wasn't very good either. Don't get me wrong.
But you put in a cheat code in the second one to unlock all the characters, and Spider-Man was a character, and he had this badass move where he threw the board out and webbed it back to him and landed on it.
Really?
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I really hope he's in the remakes, but I don't know if that's going to be possible. It might be because Activision's still publishing them.
God, there's such a weird copyright thing with Spider-Man and what he can be in and what he can't be.
Yeah,
isn't he like part owned by like 3 different like entities?
Sort of. Spider-Man's always tied up somewhere because nobody wants to get rid of him, but nobody knows.
Sony has rights to him, and Marvel has rights to him, and Activision.
I actually don't think he'll probably be in the remakes, even though it's a shame because it is Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 getting remade, which is basically probably like, you know, it's going to mix the 2 games. And it said a lot of the same soundtracks coming back, so I'm really excited about that. They had a hell of a soundtrack. It's the first time I ever heard of Papa Roach. Blood Brother. That was a good song. Hollow Shield. Where's that Hollow Shield? That's it, isn't it?
That's it.
The barrier or whatever?
I'm pretty sure the hollow shields can only absorb a certain amount of damage before they disintegrate. They can be used as cover or to block enemies. I think
that's the one that turns into the like broken barrier that.
Or is it? Is it the Tesla barrier? No.
Holy shit! Do you have 115,000 bolts right now?
I'm gonna buy it, but I don't think that's what I'm thinking it is.
You still have enough to buy that armor too.
That's not what I thought it was. The one I was thinking of
was the thing that went around.
It's an orb that pops around you.
Yeah.
That's alright, whatever. You know, I could still try to level it. Maybe it turns into that when you level it up enough. I don't know. Anyways. I think we need to go back to the ship right now. I don't know what we're supposed to do. What's the plan, Stan?
Is that the end of that?
Yeah, return to the... Oh, God. I'm dying.
Oh, I know. I had some really bad heartburn. I ate pepperoni pizza earlier, and
I had McDonald's.
Which is always just a terrible idea because pepperoni pizza gives me heartburn. Oh,
that's good.
It is so good. I eat like 4 or 5 pieces. Like, why am I doing this to myself? I don't give a fuck.
I remember the Tony Hawk game that I remember the most. I think one of the first levels was called Foundry, and you were like in like a factory that like poured lava, and like it was like a factory that you were inside of.
That was in Tony Hawk, right?
Yeah.
I think that was the 3rd one, maybe. I'll look real quick.
And there was another level. It was just like a suburban. Like there was like houses. You could like go behind houses, like a swimming pool you could get inside.
Yep.
One of the fucking ladders was on the top of a street sign.
No escape. He was coming right at me. Closer, closer. Oh, what am I gonna do, right? Closer, even closer. Click, click. My blaster jammed.
No way. What happened next?
Yes, go.
Type in Foundry Tony and it comes up Tony Hawk 3.
Yeah, you guessed it.
Force I've heard so much about.
That's funny. Yep, it is a factory with lava.
And they wouldn't even mention it in Supervillain Week.
Yeah, like a lava pool you could actually fall in, I think.
Yep.
And as for you, Agent Clark.
Seems like, wasn't it kind of like a, call me crazy, but that game kind of had a similar what's the word? It had like a similar, fuck, I can't think of the word I'm looking for here, but it was like Super Mario 64. You would enter the level and there would be different, like in Mario 64 there's like different stars for different objectives you can complete in every level. And wasn't it like that in those games?
Tony Hawk's, yeah, they were
like get this many points, grind off of this thing, you know, collect these letters.
Of course, you could do as much in it as you possibly could.
Was there a timer?
There was like a 2-minute timer. Basically, just do as much as you can.
In the timer.
Which, God, I was terrible at that.
Oh, there was an airport. There was an airport in that one too. The hangar. The hangar, yeah.
If you glided over the thing, the thing went through and that opened the garage and you could get the secret tape.
Oh my god, I forgot about all of that. We might actually have to buy that and do a let's play of that one.
Oh, we'll definitely buy the remake. I wouldn't be opposed to just doing a quick playthrough or just gameplay of. I've got 2 and 3 on PlayStation
I remember
1.
in that game,
I've got 2 and 3 on PlayStation
if you
1.
wanted to keep a combo going, you could do a manual.
Yeah.
And if
that-
you
that's-
could balance it good enough, you could keep the manual
I
going.
think a manual. I think that was when. I think on 3 is when. Maybe that was. I don't know if they had the manual in 3. Maybe they did.
Because it was all about combos. It was all
Yeah.
about chaining together combos to get the
But I know in
sickest
the
amount of
underground
points.
and American Wasteland, that's how you basically chain together combos was
To get from one trick to another, like if you were like in the middle of
then
nothing, you just had to
You
manual.
could grind or
Yeah.
manual again. Yeah, we might have to play some of those.
Oh my
a little
God.
nostalgic things about those.
A little nostalgic.
Yeah, a little, yeah.
It's underwhelming.
Just a little.
I haven't even been paying attention to the cutscene in the background. I think it's just Nefarious talking about taking over the world or galaxy. Looks like it is. Thank God we had
Whatever
the
nefarious is
subtitles
doing
on.
this, it can't be good.
We'll check it out.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Give me my fucking boots. Nerd. Nerd. Alright. So, we'll go by the... Well, hang on.
You've come back to this place.
Oh, is this one I'm gonna... Is she gonna make me do the,
Actually, we were hoping we could just pick up the gadgets and split.
She's gonna make me do the hacking
Ship together.
training course.
You slackers are always looking for the easy way out. Then you can pass the course. You
You
can have
fat... Space German.
This is the Phoenix VR deck. Here you can train in
Fat
combat
space German.
simulations or practice using new gadgets.
Quiet. Alright, so... I have to do this.
Platforms can be activated with the hypershot.
This is that tool I was talking about earlier that I would
Object
need.
is a hypershot target. Press and hold circle to connect to the target.
Oh god.
Release the button
Okay,
to
I
let
forget
go.
how they work.
Use L.
That hacker is you.
I have not done this hacking minigame in forever.
Press square to
Oh my
collect the
God,
green
I
code
remember
snippets.
this. This is terrible.
Circle to destroy the red
You break
defense
the... Okay,
profiles.
yeah, the D-pad is your
The
friend
green
here,
defenses
that's for
are
sure.
Indestructible.
Well, it's not hard. This reminds me... You're gonna remember this. This reminds me of an old game
On the iPod
on the
Nano.
iPods that came installed. I can't remember what it was called,
Oh my God, I wish I had one still here.
but it was a free game along with 2 other games. I think one of them was a music quiz that just went off of your own music
And one of them
information.
was Pong, like a Pong type game, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. I always loved the music quiz because it literally just took information like from the artist titles and the song titles and like the dates on your own music.
Yeah.
You know, that's all it was.
But that's hilarious you brought that up because I'll never forget. This is like so random. My aunt had a doctor's appointment in Nashville, and for whatever reason, I went with her. I have no idea why, but she wanted somebody to ride with her, and I think we were. It was like summer break, and we were off, so I went with her.
Yeah.
I probably got a free meal out of her or something. And oh my God, she was like in there for an hour. But I had my iPod Nano. It was that little square blue, like
Press square to
talk,
collect the green
aqua
code
colored one. You
snippets.
remember like.
Press circle.
Oh yeah,
Well,
you did have like an aqua colored one,
Yeah.
didn't you? Yeah.
Blue
And,
defenses are indestructible.
It had this game, and I sat here, and basically when you were playing these games, you listened to whatever came on. I always kept it on like a shuffle if I was playing a
Because
game.
it would
because-
play your music in the background.
Yeah, it played your music.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay, so I'm like this weird type that would just add songs to add them sometimes. I don't know how many decent songs I heard, but there was like 2 songs by POD I heard. It was one of them was called "Goodbye for Now," and one of them was oh my God,
Southtown.
No, it wasn't Southtown. Oh my God!
I don't know any
It was
more
on the greatest-
POD
It was on the
songs.
greatest hit CD.
Across the Nation. Was that them? That wasn't them, was it?
No, that was that was actually a band's name. No, wait, no, that was the name of the song. That was.
I was never. I liked Southtown. That was like the only song by them I liked, though. Unfortunately, I never really got much into POD.
They had Youth of the Nation. I like that one. The Satellite.
That's what I was thinking of. Excuse me. Now Across the Nation.
Going in Blind. That was the other name of it. They had Boom too.
Oh yeah, Boom. That's probably one. of
Boom
my
was like an
favorite.
overplay. I liked it, but
Boom
it got
and
overplayed.
Boom and Across the Nation are probably their 2 big hits, I'd say.
But Going in Blind and Goodbye for Now. I heard that for whatever reason those 2 songs came on. I guess I was in the G's or something. But I was playing that game when I heard them, so it always kind of resonated.
What was that
with me.
damn game called? You gotta look that
Green
up.
code snippets.
I
Press
will.
circle to destroy
That was
the red
fun as
defense
hell.
Never get you.
programs.
You gave me an iTunes gift card, and I bought like Monopoly and Uno and a couple other games to put
Dude,
on.
I still have Monopoly on my iPhone. The Monopoly game on the iPhone's fun as hell. Mostly against the AI. I put the AI on hard, but I play with 2 humans, and I select it to give you all the properties at the start, and I just give myself all the
Vortex.
properties. Vortex!
A 3D brick bashing game. Basically, that was the Pong type game. It wasn't Pong, it was this, and it was like you were bouncing the things back.
Yeah, cause, I mean...
But it looked a lot like this.
So it was just that game and the song game, right?
Because it was a...
I thought there was 3.
There was 3. iQuiz, which is a multiple choice quiz game. Vortex, a 3D brick bashing game, and Klondike, the classic solitaire card game. Okay.
Oh, yeah, there was Solitaire. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Yeah. Do me a favor. Look on there and see how much an iPod Nano goes for. Like, a brand new iPod Nano in 2020, it has to be...
Probably not a whole lot.
I'm going to say $50.
So I think an iPod Nano now would be like an iPod Shuffle was then. Remember the iPod Shuffle? It just basically had the buttons
It
on
didn't even have a screen.
No.
Yeah.
Let's look.
I'm going to say $60. I don't know, maybe vintage enough to where it's more than that. $60, $70 for an unused iPod Nano.
Depends on which generation you want, but there's like, that's the one I had there on the bottom corner. That's what an iPod Nano is now. It's like little bit.
Yeah, well, the bottom left.
35 to 100.
35 to 100, yeah.
Which, just for pure nostalgia.
Dude, I'll tell you one thing, those things are tanks.
Oh, yeah. Anything back then is a tank.
I was surprised. I beat the hell out of mine, and it's just refused to die.
My mom's moving as of late, and moving houses, and I've somewhere along the line lost my iPod Touch, 32 gigabyte, and I want to find it so bad because there's so many songs on there.
That's one of those big fat ones, wasn't it?
Oh, well, it wasn't a big fat one. It was one of the first generation touches of it.
Hendrix had one of those.
He had one of those fat ones. But
that was one of the big motherfuckers.
he had one of the big fat ones. I never had one of those because they were always so expensive. But God, you could put everything on those. But man, that iPod Touch had 32 gigabytes, and I thought that was crazy. I think I had like 4,000 songs on it, and most of it was just CDs I had, and just pulled them over to it. Because back when I bought CDs, I just listened to 1 or 2 songs on them. Stupid. We should probably stop now.
That episode flew by.
We got to do this more because, not that the game's boring, but sometimes game commentary gets a little...
I'm good with just randomly chatting in the background. There's a lot of YouTube channels that do nothing but just talk about shit in the background while the game is being played absentmindedly, and I'm cool with doing that. Hope you guys enjoyed. We will see you in the next episode. Thanks for watching.